Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of, I guess this is prog review. Should we put it on prog review? Why not? It's not really prog, but it's world music, I suppose. Do you remember the world music section? This is Djivan and Gasparyan's Moon Shines at Night. This is his second album. Yeah, because, again, Gasparyan, didn't he die last year? At 92 or 94, oh God, I can't remember. But yeah, last week, because it's Monday, last Friday, they reissued his debut album. Was it I Will Not Be Sad in This World, and this album on All Saints Records. Yeah. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Gasparyan is an Armenian duduk player. The duduk is a wind instrument, and once you hear it, you'll never forget it. It's a very haunting quality, and well, you hear it on all sorts of things. I mean, Gabriel has used the duduk on his Us album and on his Passion soundtrack. You know, in case you're in that wheelhouse, in case you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a very fascinating instrument. It does something. It does something to me. And I became to Gasparyan's music via, again, Michael Brook, because Michael Brook produces this one. This is why I bought this. Didn't buy the debut. I bought this one. Well, I couldn't afford both. This is the first time this is on. This is on vinyl. We'll do that in a minute. But yeah, Michael Brook bumped into him and ended up producing this record back in 1993. Yeah, so this was out in 1993, so I know it from back in the day. And of course, Brook and Gasparyan did two albums together, Black Rock and Penumbra, and they were nearly a good 20 years apart. So yeah, it was again, it's funny how these things come around again. If you like CD, and I would probably recommend you get the CD for £10, I think it is. You can get the first album and this on a double CD package from All Saints. I will put a linky down here where you can get that from Amazon. I get a shiny golden penny. But yeah, we have Gasparyan performing a number of I guess you'd call it, I don't know, are these own compositions? I do not know. I do not know if these are traditional or are these his own compositions. But they're a mixture of live and studio production performances. Again, produced by Brook. The studio stuff was recorded at the Church Studio in North London's Crouch End, which again has the right ambience for him and his two accompanists to just set up. And again, this is a very bare, immediate production. It's just him and his two players who are featured in the artwork. Here they are. And they play, and it's a very live, it feels very live, immediate, you know, in your environs. If you put this on and you drift off, it is like they are in the room with you. And oh God, the sun's come out and I've become whited out. Wait a minute, let me just adjust the settings, because this always happens. There we go. I look a bit more human now. So yeah, I mean, I really like this kind of stuff. Because I'm a pretentious ponce, that's why. But yeah, I really dig this material. And again, it's funny because the stuff he did with Brook is a more, again, Brook takes a very similar approach to what he did with Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. Is he brings his guitar work and Western percussion to it. So yeah, those albums are very distinct. But this is the raw source material, and so I'm a big fan of those albums. But this is fascinating to me too. And again, it's one of those albums I know relatively well because, you know, I've listened to it many times. Then the sun goes in, and then I have to do that. Stop playing with your camera. People say, why can't you be like normal YouTubers and edit what you do? I prefer to do things live, and because it makes my brain work. So yeah, it's a mixture of instrumental pieces and pieces where Gasparyan sings as well. And I guess this is a form of Armenian folk music. So like I say, it's very raw, very stripped back. I mean, I don't mean raw as it sounds badly produced. I mean, it's just, you know, it's visceral stuff. It's stuff that you kind of gets in there. It has an emotional punch to it. And Gasparyan's voice is, you know, it's amazing. Why wasn't he a singer? You know, he's primarily known as a duduk player, but he could have been an Armenian folk singer as well, because he sings, you know, his voice is, you know, is good. It works really well. So yeah, I think this is a remarkable record, and it's great to see. Well, it was Opal Records, and then Opal kind of is part of All Saints. They're all the same thing. It's Eno's record label, and it's great to see them going back in the archive and giving these records a second chance, so that people can discover them. I don't know who's going to discover this other than me preaching to you and encouraging you to check it out. It's a shame that time has kind of moved on for this kind of music, and it's getting bright again. And it's a shame, you know, that, you know, I don't know how you necessarily discover Gasparyan's work now without the likes of me going on about it. But again, you've kind of got to be a fan of me to end up being a fan of him. But yeah, he died last year, age 92. And again, I think he was still making music up until then. It was, again, and the album he did, the second album we did with Michael Brook, the Penumbra album, is, I think I've reviewed it on here, and if I haven't, you should definitely get me to do that review. Is well worth checking out. So again, I like what Brook does with these artists, is he brings musicians from all parts of the world, and he's done it on with a number of people on Real World Records, and he kind of creates a new form of music, you know, a kind of, well, it's beyond world music. They create something different. Again, it has Western, in this case, Eastern Europe. He's gone out to Africa. He's gone to Pakistan. And again, we missed that kind of musical experimentation. As again, you don't see it now. Those days are gone, and it's a real shame. It's a real shame. So yeah, I really love this record. Putting it on and just sitting back. It's one of those records that you just kind of fall into. You just fall into it, and you wallow in it, and you bathe in it, and you absorb as much of it as you can. And you go, God, these are the master musicians. These are the people for whom music is hardwired into them. These are the true vessels of music. Here I am waxing lyrical, and bloody sun. God damn it, sunshine. How dare you come out and ruin my video. But yeah, I think it's a great record, and it's funny again with these reissues that come out. They reissue, you know, do these vinyl reissues that you don't expect you're ever going to see. It was like when they brought out Night Song, Real World, you know, brought out Night Song, I think just for me. And it's great that All Saints Records have done this, and I'm sure there's plenty of other things on their label that they could, you know, revive. But again, you wonder how many copies that they're going to buy. I mean, this is such a, you know, it was limited back in the day. You know, it was a niche prospect back in 1993, and I imagine it's even more so now. But I implore you, do check it out. Do buy a copy. Get the double CD, because you get the first album and the second album. First album's good too. More trad, you know. It's more of a traditional album. I mean, this is kind of traditional, but I think it's more, you know, traditional songs. I've got it somewhere in my archive. I've got these both from eMusic back in the day, digitally. And this is the first time I've had the chance to own it, because I could never find the CD when I was younger. So yeah, this is me, waxing lyrical about the marvellous Djivan Gasparyan, an Armenian master musician of the duduk, and someone I just think is, you know, it's a shame that he's gone. But his music lives on, and I implore you to check it out. I don't know if this is available on streaming. You probably have to find a dodgy upload on YouTube, but if you do want to test yourself, like I say, I'll put a linky for the double CD edition, which has his first two albums. Like I said, the original one that was actually released in Russia, and this one as a double header. That's it. My name's Darren Locke. I've been talking about Djivan Gasparyan's second album, Moon Shines at Night, his first Western release, produced by Michael Brook. Just, if only I could be that good. And we'll do this all again soon. Thank you for watching. You better